We're live. It's Country Black.
I'm Alabama White. Welcome to the Prepping in the South show. Country Black has some things to talk about today. I want to let him lead off this program. Tell him, Black.
The one thing I want to talk about, we're talking about population reduction. This comes from Kamala Harris. Mm-hmm. And this is a very serious thing. It's scary. You understand what I'm saying? Population reduction.
Not population control.
Not control.
Population reduction.
Not population gives you more food stamps.
No food stamp reduction. No.
Not population giving you a little government subsidy check.
Nope.
None of that. This is reduction.
Well, they may want to reduce to end up giving to that's make you, that's part of the step
part of
the plan.
Of the reduction.
But one thing we're talking about, you guys, is in one of Kamala Harris's speeches, she makes a comment about climate change, and she also throws in there population reduction. And that catches a lot of people's attention because she didn't say population control, she said population reduction. And that makes you wonder why, scratch your head why. Why would she even utter such a term? Now, over here in the United States, we've not really ever had to deal with that, other than it does mention about what you were talking about. What's in North Georgia? The
Georgia Guidestone.
Yeah, there's Georgia. Yep. They talk, because I've been there with my brother and I.
Yeah.
We found it by accident one time. They talk about the world with only so many people on it or whatnot. That was built back in 1979, 1980. But again, this makes you wonder. But why? Then Bush, the first Bush, George H.W. Bush,
Yes, the very first one.
spoke about New World Order. Yeah. And now Kamala Harris is talking about population reduction. It just makes you wonder, people, or makes me wonder. I could be totally off.
It makes me wonder too. And the bottom line is, I don't know what people understand that where population reduction means, and when it's any type of incident, accident, a chemical, viral, anything, fallout, anything. They have this so-called. They have FEMA camps.
FEMA camp.
I don't know y'all. I know you guys. I know. I'm sure everybody have heard about FEMA, and they say, people look at FEMA as a good thing, but when you have control of multiple people in one area, that's population reduction.
Well, they had the opportunity to have population reduction. Right. Who came in when New Orleans got flooded? FEMA. I mean, they're there for certain things, but then why are all these camps?
After a while, they bag out.
Built,
FEMA will bag out, and it's like, hey, we're gonna let nature take its place, and a lot of people die.
There's some people. Yeah.
And a lot of people live. The strong survive. We shall perish. This show here is not here to tell you and baby you. We're here to tell you what facts and what life really is. And that's it. It's cut and dry. It's cut and dry.
Well, and in our opinion now, look, we could be wrong, no doubt about it. But let's look at life the last 30, 40, 50 years. There's things that, your father, uncle, cousin, whatever told you. There's things my father, and that may be mostly wrong and crazy, but and it tells you and things you see. Look at life 50 years ago, look at life now. Especially the older generation that's really dead now, how reliant they were upon themselves and the church system, not the government for a check. I asked my grandfather, who died, he would be about 107 right now, World War II vet, all that kind of stuff. I asked him, what did y'all do back in the 30s and the 40s and even the 20s? He was born in 1918, so he remembers the 20s. And everybody down there was born in the country, down in South Georgia.
That's how it was.
Same way with you in Mississippi and stuff. Even down in Illinois and stuff, even, other than Chicago. I said, what did you guys do? And it was my grandmother, actually, on my mother's side. And she said, well, we took care of each other. That's what people did, the community. And even the church would get involved too. And down there in South Georgia, it was everybody down there was black and white. It was mostly white. There was a lot of black people too down there in South Georgia. and you didn't get into the whole. This is a subject that's I've always been aggravated with. You would go out there in the fields down in South Georgia, or when you're playing, 8-year-old girls, black and white, like you and I are both 8.
Yeah.
All right, you got through, you done your chores and stuff. We're out there playing baseball, running around, shooting, doing whatever, and it wasn't until you went into town, until you went into a store where you got to the whole black and white thing. Other than that,
That's what outside that.
yeah, and then
there wasn't really no problem.
yeah, there wasn't no problem. That's one reason Martin Luther King stirred up a hornet's nest. But what I'm saying was, I asked them, and they said, we went in the town. I was like, okay, you go through that door. I'm gonna come through that door. We're gonna get a 6-pack and a roll of Juicy Fruits, and I'm gonna come back here. And that's what you did. That's what you did. They went in there. You got what you wanted. I got what I wanted, you came back.
I used to go to in Grenada, Mississippi. We go right there in town. I buy me a box of 22s and some BBs.
There you go.
For the bun, for my gun, and they used to come in this plastic paper wrap canister. The BBs.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They made
and the 22 came in a little cylinder.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Grandma said, "You got what you want, baby," and Grandma get what she wants. Sometimes she get flour. Sometimes she get lard, but she buys it as bulk.
Yeah.
She always bought it as bulk.
Now, that was out in the country, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out in the country.
Yeah.
Out in the country.
In Mississippi.
Cold water,
Mississippi.
Cold water, Mississippi.
Right on.
But the bottom line is, we kind of getting off the task here.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
We do that a lot, which is fine because
everything's got a point.
Everything has a point.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, FEMA camps is very, very bad. And they've come down to a point where as society is start getting bad, or we start having wars and stuff like that, and they're gonna say, hey, you can come here at such and such address, we got a FEMA camp set up. Don't go. Sustain yourself and try to do better by yourself and live on your own land.
Yep.
Wait it out at your house, because if they get you in the camp, it's gonna be bad news.
Well, you're living under their rules.
Yeah, you're living on the roof. They're gonna take care of you for a while, and you're right. You're gonna eat good.
Well, you're gonna eat average. You're gonna eat canned beans and bread. You're not gonna
be able to poop.
You're not gonna eat no Longhorn Steakhouse or anything, man. There ain't gonna be no Big Mac combos for no chicken nuggets for the kids.
And no fish sandwich with extra tartar sauce.
None of that. I mean, you might get some fish and stuff. It ain't gonna be nothing to brag about.
No tartar sauce.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be dry.
You can talk about, Mary, remember that time we was in that camp? That stuff sucked.
It just sucked ass, man. Chanel told me I was not to go there. And I was stuck here. And that's what happened. They get stuck there. So when they lock you in, you ain't gonna be able to get out. And then all of a sudden this plane come through. This plane be flying, and it just crop dust you.
Could happen, people. Not saying it will, but you never know. We're not the ones talking about.
They crop dust you.
We're not the ones talking about population reduction. Okay.
Black and just like.
We're not the ones talking about that. That's the Democratic Party. That's Kamala Harris, who's running for president right now. Yeah. And again, why would you go to a FEMA camp? Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have toilet paper. For instance, let that stuff run out.
You wipe your ass with a pine cone.
Boy, that'd be rough.
It is rough.
I ain't got a can of beans. I ain't got any bread. I ain't got any tuna. I don't have this, that, the other. My power's off only comes on a few hours.
That's what they do.
All this kind of stuff. It can happen. People don't think it can.
And they're going to suck you in. And then once they get you in that camps,
you're going to have a hard time getting out.
They ain't going to let you out.
Probably not.
Well, I had enough of this. I want to leave. You're going to get butt in the face with an AR-15.
Possibly. I mean, it could happen versus those who are prepared.
I'm just telling you what's going to go on. They're going to tell you, go back to your station where you was at.
Probably.
They're going to lock you all in, and they're going to hear this plane. I'm going to say it again. It's going to fly in.
It might be a helicopter that just hovers.
It could be a helicopter. And they're going to crop dust you. It's going to be bird flu. And your ass is done.
And now that's a situation, all right. There's no doubt. At the same time too, it could be that they really don't want you to leave once you get in there, and then they could even start. I'm not going to say hunting down people that don't. You know, but guys, no one. It's all we're talking about is look at Venezuela, just 20 years ago or so before.
What's going on in other third world countries?
Kamala Harris is a daggum communist. I think her dad was a Marx professor or something like that, or studied Marxism.
He's a military man. I respect that much, but
You know,
who knows what his background was anyway? He's dead now.
well, he's dead. You know, but regardless, I mean, it's just she's also for